It's time to fill in my May reading journal. I was taking part in another reading challenge. This time it was Escape the Readathon, which was made by Books with Lexi. I will link her channel in the description. If you did not hear about it yet, it was a May reading challenge where we could choose one of 4 teams. All of us were stuck in a haunted house and each team was trying to get out first, because all the other teams get stuck in there forever. It was a perfect blend of mood reading and reading by prompts, and I had an amazing time even though our team did not escape. The pictures I am adding now to the spread are all official ones from the challenge. Each of the teams got their own ghost mascot and they are all so adorable, and I just had to have them somewhere in my reading journal. I am placing all the book covers around to fill the spread, and because I have a small space left, I am adding the overall statistics to this spread too. I finished 10 books in total. I read 1871 pages and listened to almost 60 hours of audiobooks, which averages to 315 pages per book, after converting audiobooks to page count, of course. And I am also adding a small headphone doodle to all the books I listen to. Next is my favorite, statistics. If you don't care about statistics, I will have timestamps in the video, so you can skip ahead. I am using this stained paper for all the pages because I like the look and I made so much. As I said, I read 10 books, which made quite easy to figure out all the percentages. I read 1 non-fiction book and all the rest were fiction. 1 science fiction, 1 art book and 8 fantasy. In terms of demographics, there were 4 young adult and 6 adult books. 5 to 5 for physical books versus audiobooks. And I finished 1 novella, 2 graphic novels, 1 art book and 6 novels. There were 2 standalones and 8 books were part of a series, and 6 out of those 8 were actually new series I started in May. Oops. In terms of book length, there were 2 books shorter than 8 hours long, 2 between 8 and 16 and 1 over 16 hours long. And I am thinking I'll be adding another tier in here next month, as I am currently reading through chunky books. Maybe 30 plus hours section, I am not sure yet. In physical books there were 2 under 300 pages and 3 between 3 and 500. I put the actual numbers here wrong when I was working on this one, so I need to not forget to fix it. I read 1 book I owned before 2023 and the rest I bought this year. To my defense, I started reading again just this year after many years of hiatus, so yeah, I have a ton of new books and I am extremely excited to read them all. 1 book was written by male author, 9 by female authors, and 5 authors were new to me and from 5 I've read before. I love this graph, it's so colorful in the sea of green in this spread, and it shows year the book was first published in. I read 2 books from both 2022 and 2021, and then 1 book from each, 2023, 2019, 17, 14, 2013 and 2011. As for rating, May went quite okay. I had 2 5-star reads, 1 4.75, it was so close. 4 books were 4 stars, 1 was 3.5, 1 was 3 stars and 1 was 2.75 stars. As there were not that many different ratings, I decided to include all of them without rounding them up or down to full stars. And my average rating is 4 for this month. I used green color for all the graphs to keep the theme, but it somehow looks froggy. I don't know, what do you think? I do like it, but it does not give off haunted house vibes. Now we are finally doing entries for all of the books. As I was reading kind of all over the place, I had no idea how to group book reviews into spreads. So first I made a short entry for Demon in the Wood by Lee Bardugo and Danny Pendergast. This is a graphic novel prequel to the Shadow and Bone trilogy. It's supposed to tell us more about the Darkling past, and this is a very small part of his past. But the art is beautiful, so 5 stars for art. To keep the theme, there is the King of Scars by the same author next. I was so excited to return to Grishaverse, and while I enjoyed this book, it was not as good as Six of Crows series for me. We follow 3 characters from the Grishaverse. I am not sure I can tell you which ones, so I better won't, and not going to lie, it is kind of forgettable. But I still gave it 4 stars, so it was not all that bad. Next is Reverie, art book by Sibyllin Maynard, and of course it is a 5-star read. Why would I have an art book of someone's art if I did not like it? Sibyllin is painting digitally, but mostly with acrylic gouache, and because of her I decided to try acrylic gouache myself, and I love the medium now. I have lots of unread art books and I am trying to read at least 1 every 2 months this year. I read 1 so far. I need to pick up my pace. To fill in the last bit of the page, I put in the other graphic novel, Lore Olympus Volume 2. I liked it a bit better than Volume 1, mostly because there were not that many points of view, so I was less confused. It is an enjoyable read, but I will probably read it online first before buying more volumes. Okay, this whole spread is all over the place, but I want to use more stickers in my journals, so there will be lots of trial and error. Next is young adult fairy tale retelling, which I was trying so hard to like because of this gorgeous cover, but nah. With this book, I realized I do not enjoy young adult books and retellings either. I think the extremely high-pitched voice of the narrator was a part of me not enjoying this one, but the writing did not help either. Okay, I am realizing I am not telling you much about these books, but if you find any of these interesting, you can find more on Goodreads and Storygraph, and I am doing my best to post my final and longer reviews on there too, so sorry about that. I just can't deal right now with trying to figure out the short synopsis for all this without spoiling stuff, and all of these books are, I think, quite well known anyway. The Seventh Bride is my second book by T. Kingfisher, and while I loved Nettle and the Bone last month, this was just not for me. I had a hard time paying attention to the story, I did not care about the main character, and while there was lots of interesting magic going on, the story did not explore any of it, so it felt a bit meh for me. Vicious by V.E. Schwab was an interesting read. It is my first book from this author, and while I loved the aspect of different perspectives and flipping between present and past, I somehow did not care about one of the 2 main characters at all, because he was just getting on my nerves. But I still want to continue the story to see how it ends. Next is probably my biggest disappointment from May. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies was so hyped up by everyone, so I expected more. I loved the idea of socially awkward scholar doing her research on fairies, but I don't know, I did not like the whole journal entries aspect of this book, because it did not seem to me like people are writing like that in their journals. Other than that, it was interesting, even if boring in parts, and I am not sure I want to continue this series yet. I've heard the second book is basically the same, and no thank you. I seem to have lost footage for next book. I listened to All Systems Red by Martha Wells, and that was a mistake. I think I would enjoy it so much better if I read it physically. I loved the quirky, pessimistic robot who loves watching movies, and I want to continue the series, but I am not sure about the audio versions. And the last one is the biggest surprise of May. The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson is the first book in second Mistborn trilogy, and many people are saying this is not as good as the first trilogy, so I was going into it with small expectations, but boy did I love it. I loved the combined magic system, and even though the overall story was not as complex, I was having a great time listening to this one and can't wait to read next book. Now I just need to fill in the reading tracker. I did get to 38 books already, which is way more than expected. And I can also fill in book bingo. I read an art book, and I can also mark the first in a series, because I literally started 6 new series in May. And 6 Crimson Cranes I bought because of covers, so this one gets filled too. Okay, so that was my May in books. I hope you are having great reading month too. I'd love to hear about your favorites, so don't be shy and let me know in the comments. I am posting my reviews on Goodreads and Storygraph, and it would be nice if you followed me there, but no pressure. Please like this video and subscribe if you'd like to be notified about my next upload. I am trying to post twice a week, either a full video or a short, all related to my reading or bullet journaling. Have an absolutely amazing day. See you next time. Bye.